is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It is Friday, March the 12th, and that was the Weeknd's hit song, Blinding Lights, to get your weekend started. I'm Steph. Jeff, the lucky bugger's got the day off, and I'm here with my beautiful Alan Torrey, and we just look like the aubergine dream.
I love it.
Eggplant for days.
I feel like I look like I'm like your manager. Like you guys are like a female duo, and I'm like, all right, ladies, let's pick it up.
I love it.
I'm like real mean off stage.
Like, God, Al's hard on us.
I love it. I'm here for it. Guys, yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, moving on. Well, Blinding Lights has set the record for the first song to stay in the top 10 on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart for an entire year. But you won't be seeing it nominated for any Grammys this weekend. So as we've reported, The Weeknd was completely shut out of the awards this year. In a statement to the New York Times, the singer has said, quote, because of the secret committees within the Grammys, he won't allow his label to submit any of his music to the awards in the future. Meantime, even though he's up for 4 awards, Justin Bieber is also skipping out on the Grammys, and it's mainly because he isn't performing at the show, but he's also upset that his album wasn't nominated in the R&B category. So, what do you guys think? Is this the ultimate diss for The Weeknd?
I think so. How does this happen? I mean, I thought performing at the Super Bowl, you were a lock to at least be nominated. Like, somebody explained.
That was before, though. So, like, the nominations are in before the Super Bowl.
But that song A is good. Let's just say it's super good, super quality, which is not a saying. But also, it was stayed on the Billboard charts for an entire year. That's like unheard of today. Right. So to lose him and then to lose Bieber. The Grammys have done whatever they've done to upset these people. I don't care if they're wrong or not. They're going to lose fans because of those are two
let me ask you a question, Steph.
Mm.
Do you think it's okay to boycott because you don't like something? Like in the case of Bieber, I mean, couldn't we have that with every single thing? I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be completely happy with everything.
No, I think not. I think it's well within every artist's right to say whether or not they want to be nominated or not. And I can tell, obviously, The Weeknd's very upset. Yeah. His ego is very bruised that he obviously wasn't nominated. And it is strange. I actually looked at what it takes to be nominated, and he takes every single category, to be brutally honest.
Really?
So
what's with these secret committees? What do you think that was?
So the people that actually go through all of the what's the word called? Like the people that are submitted to be entered. There's a secret team that we don't know who they're consisting of, the members, and then they go through everyone that's submitted and they decide, you know, who the final 4 should be or the final 5 or whatever, and then they open it up to the public. So it's someone within that realm, but he has been nominated for Grammys and won before. So I don't understand now when it's like such a huge song.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I like the song, but I do get sick of The Weeknd because I like someone to have their moment and then pass on. But this moment lasted a long time.
You know who's good at that? Beyonce.
Oh,
like,
so good. She disappears.
Her album will drop in the middle of the night on a Tuesday.
Totally
it's
true.
big, kind of artsy video, 1 or 2. No press, no interviews, and then she's gone working on something else. And
she's like a wizard. She's just... Poof.
She's beautiful.
She is.
All right, talking about someone else, there's lovely Soleil Moon Frye's new documentary about growing up as a child star in the 80s and 90s comes out on Hulu today. Take a look.
At 7 years old, I was cast as Punky Brewster.
I remember Saved by the Bell director saying, the minute you walk onto the stage, you're no longer a child anymore, you're an adult.
Did you miss me?
There were 12 kids in the business. We all knew everyone.
We would talk for 2-3 hours and fall asleep on the phone. We were just so close.
I carried a camera with me everywhere I went. We weren't concerned about the internet. We did the things that teenagers did. We just happened to be in Hollywood.
Wow. So the Punky Brewster star directed the film called Kid 90, which is mostly made up of footage from her video camera. And Soleil also talks about being sexualized at a very young age. She said that men treated her differently after her body started rapidly developing at the age of 13. Oh, so Tori, you've got first-hand experience with this woman and worked with her, right?
Yeah, I hosted a show called Her Say with Soleil Moon Frye, and there I am. Look how blonde I was.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
Blonde baby.
But she was ridiculously...
I cannot believe that's you. I'm sorry to cut you off.
That you can't believe it's me?
I've never seen this footage.
I know.
I've never seen this either. I'm like, I've been here 3 years.
I know.
And where has this come from?
I know. I did it for like a good long time, and she was nothing but down to earth. All her friends were famous. She invited me to her birthday party, and there was Justin Timberlake and Demi Moore, and I was just like, oh my God. But I will say, because she attributes it all to the lack of social media. She says, had I done it now, it would have been a completely different story. I also say she's famously had a breast reduction because of that body image that has really like plagued her for a while, and she's been very open about it. And now she's a famous momtrepreneur. I think that's that's how you say it.
Yeah.
But lovely woman, down to earth, but you can see that she just didn't come up with like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok.
Do you think it affected her? Like, obviously you worked firsthand with her, and she's saying being so sexualized so young. Do you think, could you tell had it affected her? Did she ever openly talk about it?
She shut down sexy talk real quick. She didn't like to go that route because I don't think she wanted to be seen as that.
Yeah.
So it was very like down to earth mother stuff. It was very mom. And
other people, unfortunately, we've seen so many people that didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, calling somebody a child star, almost inherent in that is that they've had drug or alcohol problems. And I don't think that's on them. I think that's kind of on us, Steph. I mean, I was a child until I would say in my mid-20s before I started to even have some idea of what was going on. I couldn't imagine being that famous where the most famous people in the world call you on a first name basis and you just have people handing you anything you want and handing you things you definitely shouldn't have. How could that possibly, and especially it seems like sometimes the parents aren't there the way they should be, and they're counting the money and not worrying about where their son or daughter is at 2 o'clock in the morning at 13 years old. It's
luckily she had really good, I think, parenting, and she's become a great parent with a good household, but you're right, that's rare.
Yeah,
Very
and
rare.
like the world also of television and the media in general is so different now.
Yeah.
We have so many more
Totally.
rules and regulations and people keeping an eye out and chaperones for children if you're working in front of the camera, set work hours, all those things that maybe didn't exist back then, and she probably didn't get the protection maybe that she needed.
But now you have the phone, so now the whole world
And the
literally
social
has
media.
access to you. Like, can you imagine an adult calling you every name but a child of God onto your phone at 12? Like, that would have killed me.
Yeah.
You know?
Crazy. Bless her. I'm glad she's come out with a story, and how impressive as well that she recorded everything at
How
that age.
smart about that. She's a smarty.
Pre-smartphone.
She's a smart girl. I liked working with her a lot.
I love it. Okay, this is something that I'm really unhappy about. Netflix is cracking down on password sharing. Warning, the streaming service has a new feature. If it suspects that you are not the account owner, you will be asked to verify your identity through an email or text code. And if you don't verify within a certain amount of time, they will lock you out and then make you make your own password. So what do you think about this feature? Is it fair? I don't have my own Netflix account, so for me, this sucks.
I think a lot of people don't.
I like that Steph is admitting to crimes on camera. That's why I love you. And honestly, if I thought at an early age, this is a terrible business model. I understand you want people to use your product, but for free? It's not like we need to get the word out about Netflix. What other business operates like go ahead and give it to your friend for free?
HBO, and they love it, and they own it, and they tweet about it, and the whole idea is that it's word of mouth. If you're so popular that you're sharing your password among friends in the 18 to 24-year-old age group, which everybody wants, brilliant. Go for it. Keep doing it. There's no issue for me with that. There's only publicity.
So just give it away for free. That's your business
How much
tip.
is the percentage that Netflix is losing?
Every person would have the subscription is $10.99.
Yeah, they're gazillionaires. They're fine. Have you seen their stocks soar?
They're fine. What if
I'm sure, like, rich people love money more than anybody else, and they count every single penny. You better believe, like, you know, so they don't want anyone getting that for free. But I like to share because there's so many platforms. Like, I pay for Hulu and share my password. Someone else pays for Netflix.
That's what the way of communication is happening already.
You guys have a really like 70s communal vibe to this. This is very strange.
Because she's
sharing is caring.
It's not. You guys didn't invent this. This is
But I think they take into account that you're going to share it with your grandpa or your mom.
Yeah. I'm going to share
that
away.
You're going to steal. Okay.
Sure. Coming up on DBL, meet Semler, an LGBTQ singer who's topping the Christian music charts. Her message of diversity and divine inspiration. And also, vaccine fashions are all the rage these days. I've got the scoop next in Fashion Fix Friday.
Closed captioning provided by
Welcome back to DBL. I'm Stephanie Jones with the week's top style and beauty news, like how Dolly Parton's vaccine outfit inspired a whole fashion trend. And don't be throwing away your skinny jeans just yet, because I'm sharing ways that you can keep them looking trendy. It's Fashion Fix Friday. But first, we're going Gaga for Gaga. So the pop star gave fans a first look at the glamorous wardrobe we'll see her in for the new movie House of Gucci. So she's portraying Patrizia Rashani, ex-wife of Maurizio Gucci, played by Adam Driver. Gaga is seen wearing a sleek all-black outfit, accessorized with a buckle belt and fluffy white fur hat. And I just love all that chunky jewelry. And I'm not the only one, because people are loving the 80s ski chalet vibes, and the two co-stars are giving us all the feels. It's easy to see why this photo went viral. Walk, walk, fashion baby. Next, we have Miss Dolly Parton to thank for a fashion trend sweeping doctors' offices across the nation. It's all been inspired by Dolly's top that she wore when she got her COVID-19 vaccine. It's called the Vaccine Top, and it allows easy access for healthcare workers to give you a poke. So that way you're not showing up in long sleeves and then forced to take your kit off so you can receive the shot while you're half nude. I mean, needles are already uncomfortable as it is. You could wear a top with shoulder cutouts like the forever iconic Dolly, or opt for a sweater or a blouse that hangs off the shoulder. So you can thank Dolly for not only giving us the song Jolene, but for showing us how to style for a vaccine. And finally, you might have heard about the great fashion war waging between Generation Z and millennials right now. And to catch you guys up, teenagers are calling millennials' style, well, outdated. And they're specifically targeting my favorite, the skinny jeans. But do not fear, because celebs still love a skinny denim. And here are 3 ways to keep your skinny jeans looking trendy. So first up, these boots are made for walking in skinny jeans, that is. Not only do chunky flat boots fit in every season, but they also go with nearly every outfit. Yeah, that includes even skinny denim. And next up, matching knit sets are still having a moment after exploding in popularity last year. So pair the cozy top with a skinny jean, and then you're gonna look comfy chic. Last but not least, the maxi coat. The oversized coat is a staple in many fashion lovers' closets, and it looks great paired with a light wash skinny denim. It's simple yet stylish. I hope I saved you lots some worry there. That's it for this week's Fashion Fix Friday. Daily Blast Live will be back right after this.
People. Daylight saving time returns this weekend, and while you probably don't love losing an hour of sleep, it can actually have some pretty serious ripple effects. Let's connect the dots. When our clocks spring forward every year, it can take a real toll on your body and mind. Studies have found in the week after daylight saving returns, there are more deadly car wrecks, heart attacks, and even harsher prison sentences handed down. According to the Mayo Clinic, it's because the sleep loss affects our mood, alertness, and memory. So what can you do about it? Ahead of time, you can start adjusting your sleep schedule. That means a couple days before, start going to bed a little earlier. Stay active on Saturday. Exercise helps you sleep earlier and better. Also, avoid alcohol and electronic devices before bedtime. Both can lower the quality of sleep you do get. After the time change, make sure to keep your normal schedule. That means no sleeping in. Getting up and moving helps as well. Sunlight and activity can help reset your sleep cycle. If you're struggling, a short nap is okay, just don't overdo it. And make sure you get to bed at a reasonable time Sunday night.
To be fair, she can not be a kid that the bricks launched at police.
Ugh, I'm so getting that song. Welcome back to DBL. You just heard Grace Baldridge, also known as Semler. She's blazing a trail as a queer Christian artist, and her new album, get this, just reached #1 on the Christian iTunes chart. Sam caught up with her friend earlier in today's DBL Spotlight.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have a queer artist is currently #1 on the iTunes Christian music charts, my friends.
I want to just hear, because I know that you and I were texting back and forth, but I need to hear you while I look at you. When you found out, literally after a week that you put out Preacher's Kid, that it was #1 on the Christian charts, like, what did you do? Did you jump up and down? Like, did you not believe it? Did you, like, Google yourself? What did you do?
So I hadn't checked my phone yet. We'd just woken up, and my wife checked her phone, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're #1," and I didn't believe her. It's something I think in a few months from now I'll be able to wrap my mind around it.
What are some of the unique challenges that you have had to face as a Christian artist?
I would say the main thing is being gay. That's been a challenge to, I think, for people to receive this as a Christian record and understand that there's a diversity of perspective in the Christian experience. So just candidly, yeah, I think visually people look at me, I'm not what you might expect from a Christian artist, but it doesn't make my message less divinely inspired and the place that I'm writing from.
Divinely inspired. I love that. So there's a parental advisory disclaimer on your new Christian album, Preacher's Kid. Can you explain that?
In expressing these confusing feelings and wrestling with doubt and coming back to faith and reconciliation, it gets a little explicit on this record. And I think that that's okay, because I think that that's part of the human experience that we're all sort of called to express. And I believe that we're all spiritual beings having a human experience. And part of my human experience is once and again saying a holy F-bomb. And my grandmother and I have wrestled with that. She's very proud of me, so is my dad. And I understand that's not going to be for everybody, but that's just authentic to me.
Share what it was like growing up as a preacher's kid and eventually coming out.
I grew up in an Episcopal household. My dad is a priest. I grew up in the rectory, going to church multiple times a week, youth group, church camps, mission trips, like that whole thing was very much my life.
Unlike your father, who is very supportive of you and your wife, many Christians do not support gay marriage. What do you want them to understand?
What I'm asking, and what I hope Preacher's Kid can potentially be an invitation to, is for people who are not affirming and not inclusive to do that same sort of homework that I had to do into affirming theology. It's just an invitation. Before you condemn someone, before you hop onto a stranger's Instagram and tell me to repent for my marriage, maybe pause and look up. There is abundant biblical scholarship that affirms queer identities, and maybe just pause and listen to one of those sermons before you lash out, I think, in anger.
Grace, I'm so proud of you, but of course, DBL Nation, you're going to know her as Semler, the chart-topping artist, and let's make sure that we get her to the Billboard charts. So stream her album, Preacher's Kid, on all platforms. And Grace, it was such an honor to have you here. I am so proud of you. We'll be right back.
I love you, Sam. Thank you.
Bye.
I don't know who you think I am, but I'll be ready at the Father's hand.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
March 2020 was mad, all right. Many sports leagues cutting their season short or canceling altogether due to the coronavirus pandemic. But one of the first major hits to the sports world came when the NCAA called off March Madness for the first time ever. The NCAA had hoped to go forward with the tournament with increased COVID measures like no fans, but was forced to cancel just days before the official tip-off. Fast forward to 2021, March Madness is set to get underway, but this year, the big dance is going to look like no other. The biggest change? All games to be played in Indiana, with most of the 67 matchups taking place in Indianapolis. Normally, the tournament sends teams to venues all across the country. When it comes to safety, all players and staff will be under strict COVID-19 guidelines. This means testing negative before arriving in Indiana, wearing contact tracing devices, social distancing, and wearing masks. As for fans, a limited number will be allowed to attend games, but only at 25% capacity. And that's connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Now, staying active during a pandemic can be tough, especially for older adults, but there are ways to make it happen. We're chatting about it in DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So exercise is crucial to maintain your fitness and strengthen your immune system. So you should be aiming for at least 2 hours of a week of activity. Start slow and work your way up, and choose aerobic activities like dancing or swimming because they will make your heart beat faster. And lastly, sit down less. If you spend your days at a desk or on the couch, get up during commercial breaks or try QB's under desk elliptical. Check it out. So they are changing the way the world thinks about fitness, regardless of physical ability or age. Call QB at 1-800-730-3397 or visit QB.com to learn more.
I was reading the New York Times, no joke, that sedentary lifestyle can give you much more risk of heart disease and cancer than they ever thought possible. Like, just sitting is literally lethal. Get up.
Get up and move. Talking about weight, I'm sorry to disturb Tori and her sitting things. I'm just very curious. Al, we saw you messing around with your mug over there. What is going on?
I thought my mug was empty, so I put my mask in it because I carry my mask everywhere. And then I realized it was half full of water and it absorbed it. So I brought backup mask.
Backup.
Oh yes, be safe, everybody.
Yeah. This is what we have to deal with, people. DBL is new every day. We're going to be back on Monday, the same time, the same. Please have an awesome weekend, and don't put your mask in a drink.
Don't put your mask in a drink.
I was being safe.
You were being stupid.
Well, okay. I'll give you that.
Thank you.